The Baxter Springs community is coming together to support Malachi Brown with a fundraiser, and the entire four-state community is helping out as well. I'm Bronte Sorotsky with those details.
Plus, as Christmas draws ever closer, one community is already getting into the Christmas spirit. Also, two Southeast Kansas communities hold Veterans Day parades. We're going to take you to both. And the president celebrating a big bipartisan victory in what he calls a, quote, once-in-a-generation investment in America.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
Two suspects are in custody after a joint Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation and FBI murder investigation. On Wednesday, 51-year-old Jimmy Kelly and 52-year-old Charlena Kelly were arrested in connection with the alleged murder of 47-year-old Tony Moran, also known as Tony Torres. Jimmy Kelly is in the custody of the U.S. Marshals on federal charges of murder in Indian country and using a firearm to commit a violent act. Charlena Kelly is being held in the Ottawa County Jail on one count of accessory to a felony. A much nicer day out there, but still kind of a chilly evening. Nick Kelly joins us.
Well, like you said, Chris, you hit the nail on the head on how quiet and nice it has been throughout the day. That helped us out actually from a cold start this morning at 37. Look at how we catapulted to 63 this afternoon, closer to where we should be at this point in the month of November. A little bit of cloud cover passed on through this evening, sure, but we're keeping skies pretty quiet, not just in our area, but all across the Central Plains, as a matter of fact. Still to the north and west, we're still watching our next storm system, but it still has a couple days before it even thinks about trying to change our weather up. In the short term, though, look at how we're dropping back into the mid-40s, a couple spots still trying to hold on near 50, but as we go through the night, you see how we drop back into the lower 40s. I see Joplin dropping back to 43, but with plenty of sun tomorrow and the south wind picking up, I think we'll go a little warmer, Chris, with highs near 69. We'll break down the rest of the week here in a bit.
All right, Nick, thank you. The Baxter Springs Fire Department hosted a fundraiser for Malachi Brown, a firefighter who suffered severe burns fighting a recent structure fire. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky has more details on how the event aims to help Brown and his family.
When tragedy struck the Baxter Springs Fire Department, the community stepped in.
We are doing a chicken and noodle benefit dinner for Lieutenant Malachi Brown, who was severely burned in a structure fire back in October.
Brown is still being treated for his injuries, and in the meantime, the community is making sure that he knows he isn't fighting this battle alone. To do this, all funds from Saturday's dinner will go to him and his family.
Yes, all the money raised from this event and all the other events that we have going on will go directly to Malachi Brown's family, for his wife and his children, as they're up there dealing with all of the emergency things.
And it wouldn't be possible without the public support.
It's affected all of us deeply, and to have the community turn out as they have with all of their different auctions and raffles that they're doing on their own behalf for Malachi, been really, really heartwarming, and we're so grateful to have that support from the community.
And the community support didn't stop here in Kansas. Fire departments from all over Missouri and even Oklahoma came out to support Malachi and his family.
It's really shown the brotherhood and how strong it is. We've had departments from Oklahoma, all across Oklahoma show up here today. Departments from Missouri, across Kansas, and even into Arkansas have been supportive and doing their own fundraisers and raffles and loot blocks to gather money for Malachi's family in his time of need.
Others who know Brown and came out to support say they hope everyone can keep him and his family in their prayers.
Police departments, I believe, also involved doing a fundraiser for Malachi. Hopefully, he'll keep moving forward, and, we're asking for everybody to pray for him.
In Baxter Springs, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
Many fire departments, such as Quapaw, Fairland, and Peoria, came out to support the event as well. Well, it's already Christmas time here in the four states. The Christmas Shop in Pittsburgh hosted their second annual tree lighting ceremony this evening. The day was filled with much more than that, though. They also had a candy cane hunt, a free petting zoo, and even Santa was there, as well as, you see, Elsa and Anna. It was free for everyone, and the event's organizer says it's a way for the community to come together and welcome in the holiday season.
Yes, so this is for all family members to get together and just enjoy Christmas early and just have fun, and it's free, and it's just a good way to get together.
The shop's Christmas activities will continue until Christmas Eve. Two Southeast Kansas communities hosted Veterans Day parades ahead of the day set aside for honoring those who served. We start in Galena, where the Lions Club hosted a parade at 9:30 this morning. Local first responders and the Missouri National Guard out of Joplin took part in the parade along Main Street. Organizers say it's a great way for the community to give back to those who served.
Everyone still loves their country, still loves the community, and they want to come out and support everything they can. And the veterans who fought for freedom and liberty, and and for everything that a lot of people take for granted anymore.
This is the second year the Lions Club has put on the parade. An hour and a half later, the Baxter Springs Lion Club hosted its own Veterans Day parade along Military Avenue. Some of the participants from the Galena parade made the short trek over to take part in this one. There were some additional first responders as well as the Baxter Springs High School Band. Missouri National Guard also came up for this parade today, and for them, it's an honor to see the other veterans.
Well, for us, seeing them, it shows relativity. So we look upon them because they served before us and they've helped out the community. They've served, they've done their part.
Following the parade, a special ceremony was scheduled at the Veterans Memorial in Baxter Springs. We take this special time now to honor one of our many four-state heroes. Petty Officer 3rd Class Scott Wilson served in the Navy in Japan, the Philippines, Okinawa, Korea, and Atsugi. His hometown, Yusha, Oklahoma. We're proud to recognize Petty Officer 3rd Class Scott Wilson, tonight's four-state hero. Well, there's something important that's coming up here in just a few hours. It's about time to set your clocks back. There are 3 key things you need to remember to do tonight. The first, of course, set your clocks back 1 hour if they don't do it automatically for you. Second, change your smoke detector batteries. Local fire departments say the 2 time changes each year are the perfect time to change those batteries. And lastly, and most importantly, enjoy a little bit of extra sleep. Well, President Biden is celebrating a big bipartisan victory in what he calls a once-in-a-generation investment in America. CBS's Christina Ruffini is at the White House with details.
The motion is adopted.
Just before midnight, after months of delays and deliberation, House Democrats and 13 Republicans passed the bipartisan $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill.
Our success on the infrastructure bill is a tribute to President Biden.
Finally, Infrastructure Week. I'm so happy to say that.
On Friday, President Biden pushed back a planned trip to Delaware and, according to the White House, instead spent the night working the phones, helping broker a deal that promised progressive Democrats a vote on the larger, nearly $2 trillion social spending plan if they agreed to support the bipartisan transportation bill.
I feel that we need to trust the president. This is what he said he would do, and I think he'll deliver on it.
In remarks to reporters today, the president called the measure transformative.
I don't think it's an exaggeration to suggest that we took a monumental step forward as a nation.
The bill provides money for fixing roads, highways, and rail lines, but also funds other measures like expanding broadband internet access, replacing unsafe lead pipes, and providing charging stations for electric vehicles.
Well, they'll see the effects of the bill, this bill, probably starting within the next 2 to 3 months as we get things shovels in grounds.
Now the White House has to dig in and try to get dissenting Democrats to support what it calls social infrastructure, or the Build Back Better plan.
The commitment that was made last night is we're going to get it through the House before Thanksgiving, and I believe we will do that.
That bill so far has no Republican support.
Republicans need to hold firm against the next move by Pelosi and Biden as they work to dramatically increase the size, scale, and scope of the federal government.
But before hopping on Marine One for his delayed Delaware departure, President Biden sounded optimistic.
I feel confident that we will have enough votes to pass the Build Back Better plan.
What gives you that confidence?
Me.
Now, even if Democrats can overcome their differences and get that Build Back Better plan passed in the House before Thanksgiving, it's not over. It still has to go to the Senate, which is very likely to make changes, and then back again to the House for a final vote.
And that was Christina Ruffini reporting from the White House. Well, still ahead on the KOAM News at 10, chaos turns into panic at the Astroworld Festival in Houston. Tonight, police in Houston are investigating a deadly crush at a music festival. At least 50,000 fans were there to hear rapper Travis Scott when chaos in the crowd turned to panic. At least 8 people were killed and many more injured. CBS's Lilia Luciano is in Houston tonight with the details.
Death and disaster in Houston last night at Travis Scott's sold-out music festival. 50,000 fans were in attendance.
We had to walk over people's bodies.
Panic rippled through the crowd, causing many to surge toward the stage. Emergency crews struggled to deliver help. The hip-hop star stopped performing several times during the show, seeing the situation was increasingly dangerous.
We need somebody to help him. Somebody passed out right here.
Witnesses say what happened next was horrifying. People were so packed they passed out. Some suffered cardiac arrest.
Everyone's just going down, people were getting trampled.
The chaos unfolded after 9 p.m., but there were early signs of trouble as amped-up fans rushed past ticket checkpoints. Tonight, police say they have not determined what caused the deadly chaos, but investigators are aware of rumors that people were injecting some of the crowd with drugs.
We do have a report of a security officer. He was reaching over to restrain or grab a citizen, and he felt a prick in his neck. When he was examined, he went unconscious. They administered Narcan.
Officials say several people were treated with Narcan, which is a spray that's used to treat overdoses. Right now, autopsies are being conducted on the 8 victims, the youngest of which was 14 years old. Lilia Luciano, CBS News, Houston.
A little later on the KOAM News at 10, Pitt State takes on Washburn. Sports Director Jacob Leonard's going to have those highlights a little later.
But first, we have a few more nice and mild days to track before we start keeping an eye on increasing rain chances. We'll break down the week ahead next.
If you're 4 p.m.
It was nice to keep things pretty quiet throughout the course of the day once again, so pretty good indication that this is how we're going to wrap up the weekend tomorrow. Quiet shot from outside of Seneca, Missouri, courtesy of Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. We're looking quiet from that part of the 4-state area, and that's the quiet sky that really helped us out with temperatures today. We topped out in the upper 50s yesterday, dropped back as we advertised the other night in the upper 30s to near 40 this morning, but pushing back near 62, 63 at Joplin Regional, and most of us in the lower to middle 60s. We'll certainly take it. In fact, we'll take the mild weather that will continue in addition to dry and nice weather for tomorrow and Monday. Then sticking with Doug's pattern, we've got our next storm system in here for the middle of the week. That'll bring rain chances along the way. Then once we get behind that, we're going to turn much cooler, even though we'll be drying out at the time we head into the end of next week. In the meantime, 7th and Range Line. A little bit of traffic, but nothing upstairs, so we're looking pretty good from the east side of Joplin. 47 degrees with a south breeze, almost pushing 10 miles per hour. That humidity is starting to climb back up now at 77%. And you see that dew point near 40. Since we can't drop below that number, most of us are seeing temperatures now mainly mid to upper 40s, there's a couple of lower 50s still, but at the very least, we're going to drop back only into the lower 40s as we go through the rest of the night. As we continue with quiet skies, we had a little cloud cover work on through this evening, but nothing underneath the clouds and not much to show across much of the Central Plains. The only feature up the surface that has my eye is this next front working across the northern Rockies and out of the Pacific Northwest. We got to wait for this upper level ridge to break down. Then once it does, we'll see that next system roll on in. But this guy, this is what's going to keep us nice, mild, and dry as we go into not only tomorrow, but to start the new work week and school week out. So let's break down your future track forecast here. Again, maybe a little bit of cloud cover scraping across parts of northern Missouri, but you see how we stay as quiet as can be. That's going to mean another cool start for the morning, though. This time, though, I think we'll drop back to about 43, maybe some lower 40s outside of Joplin. But everyone's going to see the temperatures quickly warm up throughout the day tomorrow, even though we're going to wind the clocks back an hour tonight, so not much in the way of daylight. But that south wind to 5 to 15, with some dry air still in place, we quickly go to 64 by noon, pushing 69 in downtown Joplin tomorrow. In fact, everyone, you're fair game to go into the upper 60s with plenty of sunshine once again for tomorrow. This upper level ridge, even though it starts working to the east on Monday, we stay on the warm side of the jet. So we'll keep highs in the lower 70s as we stay dry for Monday. But here comes Tuesday. You see how the future track wants to throw a few showers our way. That is picking up on the next system out west, and especially another upper level low. That'll give us our best shot for rain and storms by the time we head into Wednesday. Then you see by Memorial Day, once we get behind that system, maybe a few showers in the morning, you can see temperatures turning quite cooler behind the front. 69 tomorrow, 71 Monday, upper 60s for Tuesday and Wednesday, but we'll drop to 58 Thursday morning. Upper 40s for the start of the weekend at least, Chris, with maybe a shot of another freeze by Saturday morning.
Hopefully it doesn't get too bad, but it is that time of year.
Yeah, at least so far I'm not seeing anything severe out of Wednesday's thunderstorm chances. We'll still keep an eye on it, though.
Thank you so much. Right now, sports. Jacob here, and it's senior day for both Pitt State and Missouri Southern football.
Pittsburgh State hits the field against Washburn, while Missouri Southern hosts Northwest. Plus, the Southern and Pittsburgh State cross-country teams aim to move on to nationals. We'll have all that and more next. The Pittsburgh State Gorillas play their final home game of the season today. Pitt State welcomes in Washburn on senior day for the biggest game of the week in the MIAA. And both teams are 7-2 coming into this one. The winner keeps their playoff hopes alive. First quarter, Washburn forces a turnover. Peyton Lane gets the interception, returns it deep into PSU territory. Ichabod's turned that into 7 for the first points of the day. The Pittsburgh State defense gets a play of their own. After the completion, Caden Roy forces the fumble. Rico Payton scoops it up, goes down the sideline for the touchdown. That makes it 7-7. It was back and forth the entire first half. Tyler Adkins here. 2-yard touchdown for the Gorillas. Gives them their first lead. However, right before half, Mitch Schurig finds James Letcher Jr. contested grab for the touchdown. Washburn goes up 4 at half. The Gorillas down 8 in the fourth after hitting a field goal ensuing kickoff. Ichabods cannot come up with it. Joseph Nichols recovers and gives PSU the ball back. Tyler Adkins, the senior, on senior day, getting his second touchdown of the day here. 2-point conversion fails after that. So Pitt State now down just 2. After a turnover, Gorillas drive back down the field, got a chance for a field goal with under a minute to go, but Washburn gets a hand on it, and that is it. Ichabods hold on 28-26 in what will be the final home game for these Pitt State seniors.
I'm proud of the men in that locker room and who they are and what they represent and how they carry themselves and how they love each other and how they work every day and how they bought into a new culture here. And we got 15 guys that'll be probably playing their last football game in a Gorilla uniform, and we owe it to them to give them everything we got. That's a great group of men. I told them I wouldn't trade them for anything. You know, when you come in as a head coach to a place for the first time and those guys buy into what you're doing and give you everything they got, you know, I'm proud of them and love them, and I wake up every day and go to work and try to give them everything I got.
Today is also senior day for Missouri Southern. The Lions hit the field this afternoon against Northwest Missouri in their final home game of the year. Missouri Southern enters 3-6, Northwest 7-1 and ranks 6th in the country. Now, all Northwest in the first half. Mike Hohensee finds Caden Davis over the middle for the 19-yard touchdown. Northwest shutting out Missouri Southern at that point 35-0. Bearcats' next possession, Hohensee looking for the receiver downfield. It's Ian McSwain, though, there for the pick. Lions hold off the Bearcats' attack. It stays 35-0 at the break. To the third quarter now. Southern takes over inside the 10. Dawson Hurl finds Jaden Stoshak. Back corner touchdown. Lions are on the board. Later, though, handoff goes to Al McKellar. He gets outside, and check out the finish. Plows his way into the end zone. His third touchdown of the day. Northwest Missouri dominates Missouri Southern 49-7. The junior college now, NEO at home today, finishing up their schedule against Blinn. Early on, Aaron Normant takes the snap, takes it himself into the end zone. Touchdown Norseman, they're up 7-0. Then Jamani Jones, seen this all year, takes the handoff, rushing score of his own. Just like that, NEO out to a 14-0 lead. Now, Blinn does get on the board in the second quarter. Bucks actually get a safety here. Their first points make it 14-2, but this day, it was NEO's day. Trayvon Shaw takes the pitch here, takes it outside, and There he is, all the way in for the score. It's 21-2 at half, and NEO would finish it. Norsemen win today 21-8. Today is the Division II Cross Country Central Regional in Joplin, with Pittsburgh State and Missouri Southern runners trying to advance to nationals. Our own Danny Terza was there and has more on a big day for both programs.
Missouri Southern and Pittsburgh State are aiming to qualify for the national championships in Tampa later this month. In the women's 6K race, Pitt State finishes 8th as a team. Laura Murdoch leads the way, placing 26th individually. The Missouri Southern women come in 14th out of 35 competing schools. On the men's side, running a 10K, Ryan Riddle wins his 5th straight individual title, placing first with a time of 29 minutes, 22.28 seconds.
This has been my favorite season by far, just with how well I'm doing, myself and my team. So I just gotta be a good influence for all the younger guys and everybody that watches me, and just trying to do the best thing I can. JP Rutledge crosses the finish line right behind him in second place. As a team, the Lions get second. They are headed to the national championships. This will be my 3rd one, so I have some pretty good experience and I know what's going to happen, but every race is a different one, so I just got to be prepared. For Pittsburgh State, Matthew Oglesby leads the Gorillas with a 3rd place finish.
Overall, felt great. I just wanted to get through the race for the boys and see if we can't pull off a win as a team, which unfortunately we didn't get, but we're going to nationals, so I can't be too mad about it.
The team finishes 3rd as well. Pitt State is set to make the program's 6th trip to the national championships, the first since 2009.
That's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
We're home today.
Not too bad coming up in the next few hours here.
No, we'll just keep things as quiet as can be during the overnight. We'll have to start in the lower 40s, but we'll go to 69 tomorrow, 71 Monday, a few more nice mild days before rain sneaks in for the middle of the week.
Then it cools down after that, too.
Quite a bit.
Yeah. Jacob Leonard, sports not cooling down.
No, we got one more week left in the MIAA season for both Pittsburgh State and Missouri Southern. Pitt State travels to Fort Hays State next week, while Missouri Southern will travel to Washburn.
Looking forward to all of that. Guys, thank you so much. That's our time for now. Remember, we're always on at KOAMNewsNow.com and with that handy KOAM News Now app. And thank you so much for making us part of your night.